Steven Universe and all associated images are property of Cartoon Network, Rebecca Sugar, and any and all other respective owners and creators of the show. All footage in this video has been used for the purpose of critique parody under fair use. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like if Connie was the protagonist instead of Steven. I love Steven. The main thing I'm excited for would be to see how Connie would look fused with all the other gems. I suppose it'll have to stay in my dreams, though. Now wait a goddamn... Hello again everybody, and welcome back to another episode of One True Theory, where we, once again, are back at it with the Steven Universe theories. Damn, Midnight Geeks, back at it again with those Steven Universe theories. Steven Universe is to the Midnight Geeks like Nintendo is to game theory, a constant source of inspiration for good, wholesome theorizing. And on today's episode, we want to talk about a rather interesting concept which we have discussed once before in our Paradox First Fusion video. Fusion, as you know, but for those who may not, is the amalgamation of two gems' physical forms into a body and a wholly different being. Ruby and sapphire equals garnet, amethyst and pearl equal opal, and so on. As was discussed in the episode We Need to Talk, humans are unable to fuse with gems. Full humans anyway. There are, however, ways around this seemingly tight-knit rule and this seemingly insurmountable biological physical difference. As we saw in the same episode, and once prior in the episode Alone Together, Steven's half-human, half-gem nature gives him the ability to fuse with humans, as he does so with Connie to form the fusion Stevonnie. It is also heavily theorized that he'll be able to fuse with gems as well, as the series progresses of course. It's just easier with Connie since he has such a powerful emotional connection with her due to that they have heavily requited affections for each other. Love really does make things easier, doesn't it? I guess I should stop giving Moulin Rouge such a hard time.
Love is a many splendid thing, love. Lift us up where we belong. All you need is love.
Please don't start that again.
All you need is love.
Now, the question comes into play. Can Connie herself, by herself, fuse with the gem? No. No full human can fuse with any full gem. It's just impossible. If this didn't do it, then nothing can make a full gem and full human fusion possible. However, nothing is holistically impossible. If Steven can talk down and befriend the cluster, which is an amalgamation of millions of shattered minds, then surely Connie should be able to fuse with gems in some way, shape, or form. And I'm here to say that it is possible, and it's possible through Steven. Or rather, it's possible through Stevonnie. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking. It's way too convenient that Stevonnie can just automatically make this theory possible. Stevonnie is a great many things, but they aren't a miracle worker. Plus, you have absolutely zero evidence operating with you that Stevonnie is capable of fusing, let alone Stevonnie is capable of doing any other gem abilities. Steven hasn't even fused yet, and you're trying to convince me that someone with less gem in them than one of their component part is capable of just as much? In short, yes, I'm more than confident for two reasons, which I'll break down. Reason number one, why Stevonnie and by association Connie would be more than capable of fusing with gems is Steven's own personal physiology. Steven is human. Steven has human needs. Steven's body needs sleep. Steven's body needs food, and Steven's body has to filter out waste. Steven, for all intents and purposes, is human. He doesn't need his gem to facilitate his life at all, but having the gem does make him possible to do a lot of different things. But he's human at the end of it all. His body is organic. It's physical, and most importantly, it isn't made out of hard light like the bodies of the other gems. Steven's body, because of this, should not be able to fuse for any reason. He's physiologically as human as his dad and Connie, so what sets him apart from the other two? Well, the rose quartz gem. And this fact leads us neatly into point number two. Steven's body and Stevonnie's body are both essentially human, and they both have essentially human needs, which gem bodies just don't. So why can Steven fuse, and to follow this point up, why should Stevonnie, and by association Connie, through Stevonnie, be able to fuse? The answer is, once again, the rose quartz gem. Gemstones on regular gems convert the physical bodies of the two gems during the fusion into a more malleable light construct to form something larger than the sum of their parts. This process holds true for Steven Steven, but instead of converting a body made of light into light, the rose quartz gem is converting Steven's physical body into light, which can be molded for a fusion. This point alone can also explain why Steven confused with humans, because if the rose quartz gem can convert Steven's very physical human organic body, then there's no reason why it shouldn't be able to convert other people's very organic, very human physical bodies. And with that going along, Stevonnie. Gemstones on full gems can't fuse with other humans because their gems have no understanding of how the human body works and thus have no ability to convert the human body into light in order to make them fusible. The rose quartz gem is different now because it is combined into human anatomy and has a fuller understanding of human DNA, the human functionality, and DNA is basically the building blocks for humans and all organic beings, but is also essentially information. Information is something which gemstones can easily process, since all gems are essentially information inserted in the gemstone, since they're probably most likely artificial intelligence created by a sentient forerunner race. Please don't ignore my shameless plug, but what does this mean for Stevonnie and Connie's ability to fuse with other gems? Well, when Connie is a part of Stevonnie, she now shares all of the same characteristics that Steven had by himself. Stevonnie now has a very human body, but coupled along with the rose quartz gem has an ability to convert their body into light necessary to fuse. This is a wide assumption, but there is a way to confirm Stevonnie's body is able to be converted into light. To prove this, look no further than this right here. If Stevonnie was incapable of becoming light themselves because of how much more human they were compared to Steven, then their bodies should not have been able to convert into light necessary enough to diffuse right here, or here. So it is actually more possible than not for Connie to fuse with other gems through the means of Stevonnie, and actually brings up a much more interesting point. Human gem hybrids like Steven are capable of fusing with any number of humans and gems because their gem is able to convert both human bodies and gem bodies into the same kind of light necessary to fuse. And since the rose quartz gem is able to do this sort of transference of matter and DNA, then it just leaves open a lot of possibilities about the futures for human and gem relations. Something which I think rose quartz tried heavily in her time while she was alive to repair, but something she was never able fully to do. Because she herself, although was able to come to a great understanding about humans near the end of her life, was never able to fully bridge that gap to make a seamless transition possible. But it's through Steven, and through Steven it's through Connie, and through both of them it's Stevonnie, which allows the bridge of humanity and gems to come about. Whew, that was a doozy. But I think it's safe to say this episode of One True Theory is over and out. Thank you for watching. And a big shout out to Maria Oglesby. She is the talented artist who did the thumbnail for this episode actually, and I wanted to include her work a little bit more in this, but through some faults of editing on my own, I was not able to do that. But I wanted to make sure to give her a shout out in this video because she has a lot of awesome artwork. She's an awesome, polite person, easy to work with, and just all in all, you guys should check her out. Here's some of her stuff to give you an idea. To her social media accounts and things like that are down in the description below. Please check her out. I'd really appreciate that because she is a special person here at the Midnight Geeks. Thank you, and have a good night. Damn right.